Okay, I'm so sorry for those of you who were on. I had to log out and log back in because of technical difficulties. My phone was facing the other way, so just don't mind that video. I hope some of you are still here and say hello if you're logging in. I am actually really excited to be here with you today. I'm really inspired to talk about today's topic, how to create a vision in your marriage. This is something that I've been talking about with my husband and really the importance of visioning. Before I move further, I want to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Yana. I am a marriage coach and the founder of Transform Your Marriage program. And I help women to have happy and fulfilling marriages through my program, the Transform Your Marriage program. And I absolutely love supporting women. I've been supporting women, for over 18 years, not just in marriages, but in so many different ways. So, hi, Leah. Thank you for logging back in. I'm sorry about that other video. I really appreciate it. I'm excited that you're here. Is it Friday evening where you are? Where are you from, Leah? Let me know. And if you're logging in, say hello. If you're watching the replay, please hashtag replay so I know that you're watching and I can say hello back. Um, so I'm going to just kind of jump right in and really talk about the importance of creating this vision. And actually, I'm sorry, before I jump right in, I want to share with you guys that if if this vision and creating a vision is something that you want to do, then you do not want to miss the challenge that's happening next week. Because I am going to, for 5 days, literally teach you the process of how to get to a place of really creating your vision, which I call the big why. And you're going to get everything out of the way so you can actually create it. Today I'm going to just talk about the importance of it and how to do it, but there's something to be said um, that if you don't get everything kind of out of the way um, in order to really, be clear about what that vision is, it's very difficult to actually create it. And I'll talk more about that, okay? But so yeah, so if you haven't registered for the challenge, Leah, are you registered for the challenge from San Diego? I love San Diego. I used to live there. I miss it so much. Oh, awesome, Leah. Thank you for inviting friends. That's great. Yeah. And hey, you guys, Leah, make sure that you message me those friends' names because if you are inviting friends, if you have two or more women register for the challenge to join you, or if you've already done the challenge and you just want to share it with friends, you're going to be also invited to a private group coaching session training that my husband and I are going to be teaching, and it will literally be a training on how to have really difficult conversations with your partner, and your husband is welcome to join as well. But it'll be a process that we're going to teach on how to have difficult conversations and how to have power in those conversations where both of you, you know, get on the same page, really resolve conflict quickly. And it's literally the conversation that my husband and I use daily in our marriage when we have conflict come up, because we sure have conflicts come up, or we need to talk about something, or I mean, we literally use this all the time. And it's just, it's a process actually that I teach in the Transform Your Marriage program as well. So it's going to be an amazing training. So invite your friends and let me know. Make sure you, DM me, let me know, and you're going to be invited to that training. Okay. So Leah, make sure that whoever registers, just let me know. Awesome. Okay, so let's get to the vision. And like I said, if you're logging in, say hello. If you're watching the replay, make sure you say hello. So what is a vision? Okay, I know that, we talk about having a vision or a why for our lives, or a lot of us, might not even talk about it, but I know I talk about it a lot in my house. So a vision, or as I call it, a big why, is something that really is your vision for your for your life. Okay, so most of us know as visions that we create for our lives. So something that we imagine is possible, that is bigger than the circumstances that we have right now. Okay, so I want to break down a vision as into three stages. So it can be in stages of experiences, the experiences that you want to have in your life. It can be broken down into growth. Okay, that's the second stage, the growth you want to have in your life. And the third one, it can be a contribution, a way that you want to give. So we talk a lot about, you know, or not we talk about in personal development, there's a lot of talk about creating visions. And if you haven't done that for your life, it's really important to create that. And what I'm going to talk about is creating a vision for your relationship, for your marriage, creating, a why for your marriage. And a why is what you believe is actually possible in your marriage. And, the importance of having this why is so vital. It's so important to create this because this is what we really connect with when we are having, circumstances come up that are difficult, or if you're having a breakdown, if you're having an argument. So this is what really has us get out of those circumstances. And when you have a really powerful vision, a really powerful why, then when you're in that argument, when you're in that conflict or whatever, is happening or something really difficult is in your life, you can always go back to that vision, to that why, and always check in and ask yourself, is this conflict or is this circumstance or how I'm reacting to the circumstance, is it aligned with my vision? Is it aligned with what I really want for my relationship? And we're going to talk about how you create what you really want and desire for your relationship. Okay. So your vision is basically this feeling, this kind of like your anchor in your marriage of what you really truly want. Okay, so before you can actually create a vision, before you can create something that really inspires you, because your vision has to inspire you. Like when you really imagine it, when you really see, what is possible, you have to really be inspired. So before we even get to that place, we have to talk about what is in the way of you actually having that in your relationship and in your marriage. Okay. And what's in the way is the complaints that we have. It's the stories that we tell ourselves about our partners, the negative thoughts that we have. They're all based on, past hurts, past traumas, past stuff that's not here. So something, happens in our relationship, right? A conflict, or even, a disappointment, or an unfulfilled expectation. And we start having a complaint or a consistent negative thought about our husband, about our marriage, about that topic, right? For example, for me, a big conflict that my husband and I all consistently kind of go through is when we talk about work. So after a certain amount of times that we talk about work and it doesn't go the way that we wanted to, and then we have an argument about it, I start having a specific story and a specific listening of him, and he starts having that listening of me as well. So every time we have a conversation, there is already a complaint that's happening before even having the conversation. And for example, for me, my complaint is that he doesn't know what he's doing in business. And it's not true. He totally does. But because of some past stories, of some past, stuff that happened, well, like for him, his business that he was building didn't work out. So I already have that complaint that he doesn't know what he's talking about in business. So that complaint is in the forefront before we even create any kind of possibility or vision for our business or for our conversation. Okay, and I know, I'm sorry, I'm going a little bit on a tangent, but I promise you I will come right back to creating that vision. So what you really have to be honest about is that complaint. Okay, so what I want you to really check in. Hi Kia, so good to be with you. Thank you for watching. So what I want you to really think about is when you think about having a vision for your marriage, okay? When you think about feeling good about your marriage, what is the complaint that you have, okay? There's a lot of them, but there is, one maybe that just speaks like really loudly. So think about it. What is a complaint that you have? And maybe, for you, a complaint is that we don't talk, or we don't have connection, or he doesn't love me anymore, or whatever that is. It's a complaint, meaning it's not like it's a bad thing. It's just a consistent negative thought that you have about your marriage, about your husband, about about what's there. So no romance. Thanks, Chrissy. So I want you to consider that this complaint, okay, if it's no romance or whatever it is, for me, it's like when we communicate, I don't feel safe. That's one of the complaints. So that complaint is, unless you actually get honest with yourself, that complaint is going to be in the way of you creating any vision or anything that's going to be any other way for your marriage. So this complaint is going to be what drives the communication in your marriage and your vision. Okay? So, and Kia, I see that the complaint is he doesn't love me anymore. So that complaint stops you from actually creating anything for not just your marriage, but for your life. Okay? So you're not able to actually create a vision if that is at the forefront. Okay, so step one is really just looking and being honest about those complaints. And next week in the challenge, the first day, I'm going to be talking about really identifying those complaints and how much they run your relationship. So once you're really honest about the complaints and you do the work, and we're going to do that work next week, so join me. But you do the work to really work through those complaints. Then you can actually create a vision for what you want in your marriage, okay? And how do you create a vision? So for your marriage and, for your life, but we're going to talk about the marriage, is really, I want you to get in touch with the feeling of why you got into this relationship, in the first place. Actually, not even into this relationship. Why relationship? Like, why choose being married for yourself in your life? Ask yourself, What is the purpose of a relationship? Like, really, you have to really get present to it. Okay. Why be in a relationship with a man? Like, what is that for you? Okay. You have to do that work for yourself before you actually go and really create it with him. And if it's hard for you to see why, I would go back to that complaint and ask yourself, what is the desire underneath that complaint? So, if your complaint is that there's no romance, then you're going to really look at, well, what is the desire behind the no romance? Like, what do you truly want? What is the experience you want to have in your marriage? How do you want to feel? How do you want him to feel? How do you, want your kids to feel about their mom and dad if you have kids? Like, what do you want to teach them about what's possible? Think about if you feel expressed in your marriage. Does he love you? Is there passion? And remember, this work, you have to do it for yourself, really, before, going and talking to him. Don't worry about what it is like right now. Don't worry about the circumstances. This work, you have to really create it for yourself. So really write down, if you can do it now, get a piece of paper and write it down right now. Or after this, really sit down and take a moment and write down what you want to feel and what you envision your marriage to look like, and really feel into it. And the more detail you can really, write about it, the better you're going to feel, or the better you can feel into it, right? Because your thoughts, what you write, is going to create that experience. And I want you to really, become like this young girl again and really create what is possible rather than what you already have, right? What happens in our relationship is we get married. We have this vision, right? That's why we get married in the first place, hopefully. We have this vision of like, wow, like this is what's going to happen in my, in my relationship. This is what's available. And then we have disappointments that happen, and, unmet expectations and all kinds of stuff. And we kill off the vision and we stop believing in what is possible. And we create our reality and what is available to us. And if you're in a relationship, if you're in a marriage where you don't believe anymore, then nothing is available. Then whatever you're believing is going to be what you're going to have. And whatever, is real for you is what's actually going to show up. So if you believe that your husband is a jerk, then guess what? Jerk is going to show up. Okay? So you really have to kind of dial it back and get back to, well, what kind of relationship do I want? What does it look like? How does he talk to me? How does he express his love? And really break it down as much as you can. Really break it down to all the little details. And once you create that, once you have that, yesterday I attended an amazing workshop in my coaching program, and she recommended to write out a manifesto, right? And I was like, oh my God, that's so good. But a manifesto is basically writing out all of the ways you want to experience your marriage, how you want to feel, or not marriage, but life, how you want to grow, how you want to contribute, and really writing everything out, the kind of, experiences you have. And what I thought was like how beautiful it is to create that in our marriage. So I want you to take some time after you watch this video tonight, whenever, but don't, do it like in a week. Do it as soon as you can, and really sit down and write it out for yourself. And this is something that is going to be your anchor in really, you know, really remembering when you have those breakdowns, what is that why? Like, why are you still in this marriage? Why, you know, are you doing the things that you're doing? And when you do have those difficult moments, this is what you always come back to. And another thing that I want to talk about is the importance of really rehearsing it and really practicing it and reading it and being present to it. Okay? Our vision, our why, the moment there's, a circumstance or the moment that we, just get into the doing mode and we're surviving, we will forget. And that's what's predictable. And I'm going to talk a lot about this next week about the unconscious mind and how we are like robots. We just, on autopilot most of the time. So when we're in that autopilot, we're going to forget what we create. We're not going to remember. So it's really important to print out the vision, to put it somewhere where you can remember it, to really practice it, to really have it like be available to you so you can actually keep visioning it. Okay? So that work, you guys, is, and like I can talk about this for hours and hours and hours and hours because there's so much to it. But I wanted to really get on today and really get you in touch with like what is your why, and really go back to that time when you really saw something possible in your relationship and really connect with it and really, recreate it, or not recreate it, but create it newly. Create it newly for yourself. And, this is your life. So don't wait until your husband changes. Don't wait until the pandemic is over. Don't wait. Create it now. This is the time. I don't know if I'm still live. It's saying that there's some trouble playing the video. So can somebody comment and let me know if you can see me? I don't know what's happening with all the technical stuff today. So if you are seeing me, just comment and let me know. But I am going to wrap it up and just create this vision. And okay.